Hello everyone, how are we doing today? I have got a game for you against a guy from Smogon. I found him on the Wi-Fi Battle Finder as that had been recently prepared and I thought I might as well throw some sand together again. I kind of enjoy the way this team works. It's not fantastic, but it functions for my needs. And yes, we have a lot of threats on his side. Genesect, Terrakion, Garchomp being the main three there, and he is kind of running pseudo-sand as it were, because, well, he has T-Tar as well, and things that can kind of function in it. So, we're going to lead off here. I start with Tyranitar. I want to get sand up straight away, and I guess that he thought I would do that, which is why he leads with Genesect. Now, Genesect, giant problem, real huge threat in the metagame, and most likely what it's going to do on the first turn is go for the U-turn, because Bug Buzz is probably not going to clean Tyranitar out, and I could kill him with a Fire move, Flamethrower, or Fire Blast, and I pack Fire Blast actually on that one, so that could be a potential. But I know he's going to U-turn straight out just to get some solid damage in, and I go into Shuckle to take it, just as a scouting measure in case he did go for the Bug Buzz. Shuckle would be able to take it even better than that anyway. So I'm going to switch out from this Terrakion here. Not quite sure what kind of Terrakion it is, but I know that Gliscor can handle most varieties. So I switch it in, feeling pretty safe, and my HP goes down, and it's below half, and I'm like, oh motherfucker, it's a choice banded Terrakion. I did not want to deal with that thing. It is now able to 2-hit KO me, but owing to the fact that most Gliscors use Protect with Poison Heal, he's actually going to switch, thinking I'm going to Protect. I actually don't carry Protect. I carry Roost and Stealth Rock plus Toxic and Earthquake, I think. So that's really saved my ass quite a bit. The fact that foreknowledge of the metagame on his side kind of lended into my favour, because I'm able to get Stealth Rocks up in the process as he switches to Skarmory. Now, Skarmory is something that I feel like I can easily set up on with my Tyranitar, because unless he's going to predict me to Sub and Whirlwind, I should be good to go. I was a little bit paranoid that he was going to do that, though, so as I switch in Tyranitar on spikes, I go for the Fire Blast instead of just subbing. Subbing would have just put me in a beautiful position right here, because he actually switches his own T-Tar and expecting the Fire move, and I guess a little bit of luck in my favour, because the burn happens and kind of lends him completely useless if he is running a physical T-Tar, so that kind of helps, but I didn't really want that to happen. Honestly, I would have preferred to sub, but for some reason, being paranoid as I am, I didn't, and it kind of cost me a little bit. But hey, oh well, it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. Annoying thing is he now has one layer of spikes and Stealth Rock. Skarmory is still alive, so it has the potential to set up even more hazards, and my team doesn't really like spikes all that much. So not the greatest of things, but for the moment I bring in Vaporeon, and I guess he thought I had intentions to Scald, but at the moment I just want to roar to see what he decides to bring in to threaten Vaporeon with, just to kind of scout what he feels is the best option on his team to deal with my my little water pup here, and I guess Latias is what he decided on, but I'm going to roar it out and get into Skarmory, which I can deal with okay with Vaporeon, unless it's especially defensive Skarmory. Scald should be doing a nice amount, and there's also the potential of the burn as well, so I'm just going to fire off a Scald here and hope it does enough to the Skarmory or burn it or whatever, and he actually decides he's going to take this opportunity to switch into his Tyranitar instead. I guess a pseudo death fodder, because my Vaporeon from the leftovers, as you can see, turns out to be faster than the Tyranitar, meaning that after the burn and all that damage, I am able to go for a second one and should be able to clean the giant out, and that is exactly what happened. So things are looking okay. I think the score is like 6-5 right now, so it's still relatively early in the match, and I guess we'll see how it plays out as we go along. He has lots of things he can bring in on my Vaporeon. I guess he decides to go to Terrakion, feeling that a banded horse is going to punch a hole right through Vaporeon and clean it out dead, and he would be right if it wasn't so physically defensive, and my Vaporeon actually has a good amount of defense investment. I'm not sure it has full, but it has a significant chunk as to where it can take the banded close combat and fire a Scald right back at him. Now, unfortunately, because there is sand around, because both of us have T-Tar, he's going to get the rock type 1.5 times boost in the special defense, allowing him to live the Scald, even though he had -1 special defense. So that kind of blows. I really would have liked to just take him out straight and clean, but unfortunately Vaporeon has to die. There's no way that I can wish anything anymore, and that kind of does suck. But I do have Dugtrio, so it's not all lost. I know that he's banded, so there's no threat of me being outsped, and I can just clean him out with a Life Orb Earthquake to the face. So now he has the opportunity to switch in anything he so wishes to try and take Dugtrio out. Goes into Genesect, either proving that A, he is scarfed, or B, he's being really ballsy with an expert belt. And I'm just going to take the chance that he's scarfed here. I honestly don't think that he's running an expert belt set. So I switch straight into Shuckle, knowing that I can take any kind of special hit he throws at me. 123 HP. Shuckle doesn't give a fuck. Down to 92, back up to 107 after lefties. So it's as if I lost practically no HP at all in the long run. So this opportunity I'm going to take to go for the knockoff on switch in, and he goes into Skarmory. Getting rid of leftovers on that thing is a dream come true because it kind of aids me in eliminating it in the future. You know, means that he's not getting that constant recovery every turn, and just nice overall. So I decided to go for the Encore, thinking that he might want to try and Brave Bird and finish me off or something, and then I could go into T-Tar and sub because of the resistance, but doesn't kind of work out because I go first with Encore owing to the fact that he whirlwinds me out. Whirlwinds me into my Garchomp, Garchomp, dude. It hasn't been away from the metagame that long that I've forgotten its name, Jesus Christ. I go into Chomp, and I don't feel safe going for the Swords Dance because, first of all, I don't want to reveal that I'm Swords Dance. I'm actually running Swords Dance Yachi Berry. Second of all, I don't feel it's going to benefit me because even with +2, Fire Fang's not going to take it out. And I think there's the opportunity for him to whirlwind me out anyway, even if I do set up. So I decide to just go for 2 Fire Fangs. He roosts there, just kind of scouting, I guess, as to what type of Garchomp I am. And the fact that I just went for 2 Fire Fangs and didn't change anything up kind of might signal to him that I'm scarfed, so I've kind of got that going. If he may be afraid of it in that way, I can use it to bluff things later on. That's kind of an opportunity that I may take, but it just kind of lends me the upper hand, making him think that I'm scarfed. Anyway, thing with Shuckle happens. I want to get rest off before he whirlwinds me away, so I do. I rest back up to full health, and things are okay. And he actually roars me, or whirlwinds me, sorry, into the perfect Pokemon, which is, of course, Tyranitar. At this point, he knows I have Fire Blast, and he still has a nice resistance to the Fire move in Garchomp, which means that I can go for the substitute on the switch without too much to fear, and now I can go for the Focus Punch. Could have gone for Crunch, but Focus Punch actually works out as more powerful, even if you factor Stab into the equation, Crunch actually tops out at 120 power, Focus Punch is 150, and that means it's just generally the better move to go for. So that's what I go for. I know that it's not going to take the thing out. Garchomp is just really bulky overall, and unfortunately I'm going to take some rough skin damage, but I do get to see that he is a Life Orb Garchomp, which is interesting. It means that I don't have to fear the Scarf set, even though Scarf set wasn't really too likely, seeing as he had Scarf Genesect as well. But you know, that's something to think on and to keep in mind. So I'm going to actually switch into my Gliscor, thinking that Earthquake's coming. I thought he was just going to play obvious and keep going for the Earthquake. Actually goes for the Dragon Claw, which I know I can live, but unfortunately he's going to crit me there, which I'm not sure how significant that was. It was significant in the fact that it would have accumulated extra Life Orb recoil, but then again, I didn't really need extra Life Orb recoil because, as you can see, I could bring in Dugtrio right now and go for the Earthquake, allowing me to clean him out without that really being anything to consider into the matter. So, well, I guess it did matter to a certain extent, but not a huge deal in the long run. Anyway, he goes into Genesect, and Genesect, motherfucker, is just going to keep ruining my life with the potential of the Scarf, Ice Beam, and everything. I'm going to go back into Shuckle again, just knowing that I can take the U-turn nicely, I can take any of his special hits nicely, and I am not too afraid of any of them. Unfortunately, the Crit King is going to be in town today. Crit King is just waltzing around this battle, and he crits me with the U-turn. He actually had the +1 attack there, which I thought was going to do a decent amount, but it did a lot amount, and I thought, wow, it can't be doing that much with the U-turn, right? And it turns out, well, it is a crit, so kind of sucks. So, yeah. That's the thing, and well, fuck my life, because now Skarmory's back in. I don't know if he wants to whirlwind me, or if he wants to just kill me with a Brave Bird, or if he wants to set up spikes, and I just feel that Shuckle has run its course at this point in the match. There's really past saving. The fact that there are so many hazards on the field means that it's going to be useless if I switch it out anyway, so I might as well leave it in. Unfortunately, it means he's going to get up a second Spike Slayer, but well, I guess it was worth the cause, because now I can go into Tyranitar without too much to fear, know that I can take a Brave Bird if he does outspeed me just because of the resistance, and also be able to fire off Fire Blast and roast him and toast him until he is done. And that does happen happen. He goes for the Brave Bird. Obviously, thanks to leftovers being knocked off earlier on, he is just at an easy, revengeable, killable range, and he does die to the Fire Blast, so that's pretty fantastic. Gets T-Tar a kill, and I guess that's a thing that it can be proud of in some way. Anyway, all that he has left is a Latias and a Genesect, and I think, well, this could go very two ways, either way, as it were, because of the fact that I have Yachi Chomp still, so if his Genesect does decide to Ice Beam it, there's the possibility that I could live dependent on hazards. Also, Dugtrio potentially can kill this thing with a Sucker Punch. It just depends on what happens. I go for the Sucker Punch, and unfortunately, it doesn't work because he recovers on that turn, so I'm like, well, fuck, I think I can't do this anymore. If I go for the Stone Edge, it's not going to kill. Sucker Punch probably won't kill because of the lack of stab and the fact that Latias is pretty bulky, but I go for it anyway, hoping and praying that it'll take it out. And what do you know it, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2 crits that I had against me, I have one come out of the bag and be important, because it takes the Latias out, leaving me now with Dugtrio versus Genesect, which obviously is not a matchup I'm going to win, but I can get off a little bit of damage with Sucker Punch. The real battle is going to be whether I can survive an Ice Beam from this Genesect with the Yachi Berry from my Garchomp. And I'm not quite sure, because there are 2 layers of spikes, there is Stealth Rock, there are things which could make this very difficult for Garchomp. So I'm going to bring it in. It's funnily enough called Survival, so you would think that it would be able to with such a name. 211 HP doesn't quite seem like enough to live an Ice Beam, but can I? Will Yachi give me Respite? Maybe? No, it shan't. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I am actually going to die. The Yachi Berry is not going to save me, and he is going to take the narrow 1-0 victory there. But it was a fun game. I enjoyed it quite a lot, and, you know, I'm just going to have to find something to deal more reliably with Genesect, I guess, because it does cause a lot of problems. It's just been running around the metagame like a motherfucker, so gotta stop that thing somehow, and I guess I'll try and make some other teams and do some more standard if you guys enjoy this, because it's good. I enjoy it. It's good. And thanks. Stop. Thank you very much for watching. Please rate the video if you did enjoy, and check out my previous stuff on the screen right now. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.